Hi there, welcome to this week's weekly Forex Forecast. Tuesday, the 3rd of May. Weren't at the office yesterday, public holiday across much of Europe. Okay, so lots to play for this week. For those of you that have been following the currency markets, undoubtedly you'll be aware of the strength of the US dollar over recent times, hitting 20-year highs against the Japanese yen, 5-year highs against the euro, all to do with this yield play. And that's all in play again this week when the Fed decide on their next move in interest rates. We'll discuss that more when I get onto the charts in a moment. Okay, so in order to access this weekly Forex forecast, just head over to ForexSignals.com website. If you scroll right down to the bottom, you'll see all our bells and whistles, all our free content. You'll see here the tab says Forex Forecast. Just click on that, pulls up this landing page here. And here you will see a field where you can pop your email address into. We'll send it directly to your email inbox the moment it has been released, or of course you can just get it here on the website. So let's have a quick look then what we're looking at this week. So I'm basically looking at the euro against the US dollar. As I say, we've basically hit these 5-year lows. Now, I'm not normally a counter trend trader unless one of my strategies comes into line, but we are seeing now some potential profit taking in the US dollar, which could lead to this currency pair pushing higher. Now, we've got the interest rate decision later on in the week. Pretty much baked into the pie is the 50 basis point rise. I'm expecting to see buy the rumour, sell the fact play out here, and that the US dollar come into a little bit of weakness ahead of that announcement, and then possibly seeing a bit of a bounce in the euro dollar up to 106.50. Again, that is just a view that I'm looking at the moment, so keep an eye on that. Max is looking at the China stock market. He's looking at a bearish move down there to 13.6, and you can check out that as well. You're coming up here to a level of previous supply. Previous supply now basically could act as resistance on the way down. Nice little pullback into that level, and a retracement lower is on the cards for Max. As always, we've got Shane here putting out his weekly outlook, basically going through day by day, looking at the events that could affect the markets. Well worth paying attention to that. He's a great analyst, goes through it day by day, leaving nothing to the imagination. So that is great. Right, we'll head on to the screens now, and we'll look at the faithful momentum meter and the economic calendar in more detail. Come on. Okay, so let's start off by looking at the momentum meter. Now, this is basically, it's a strength meter. It tells me what currencies are strong and what currencies are weak, and I use it in pretty much all my FX trading, all my Forex trading. Basically, as a trend follower, I want to buy the strong currencies and I want to sell the weak currencies. Trading is all about having an edge, and if I can find an edge in this, then all the better. So of course it doesn't predict the future. It is a lagging indicator. It's based on moving averages, the calculation in this. So it is basically lagging, but it does tell me where the money is flowing at this moment in time. And if I look at this on the higher time frame charts, I have better potential entries on that lower time frame charts. So let's have a look here what is going on today. We are seeing some strength, obviously, in the Australian dollar. As we've just spoken about, the Australian dollar had a rate hike overnight, much more than expected. Some analysts were going for a 1.5 basis point rise. It actually came in at 0.35 interest rates. So basically the Australian dollar now is showing some strength. In fact, you will see here that the Australian dollar was actually trading higher into the announcement. Then the announcement came and you saw the inevitable profit taking. The classic case of buy the rumour, sell the fact. Often you see currencies moving up ahead of their rate announcement. Certainly that's what happened here. And we're seeing now the British pound doing exactly the same. So the British pound is now actually looking at the rate decision later on in the week when the MPC decide this is the white line. So the British pound is getting stronger. This is the 1 hour chart. You can take this out to the 4 hour chart and you see that the pound is now the strongest currency. So the market speculators and traders are all banking now on the fact that the UK are going to be more aggressive in their rate hiking stance towards the end of the week. And of course, what we are seeing is some weakness coming into the US dollar. US dollar's getting a little bit weak. We've actually just hit, last week we hit 5-year highs against the euro. We hit 20-year highs against the Japanese yen. So the Fed have been pretty aggressive in their tightening rhetoric. So they've basically been talking up their rate hikes. It's pretty much in the market now that they're going to raise their rates by 0.5, 50 basis points, basically Wednesday evening in the UK, Wednesday afternoon in the US. That's pretty much baked into the pie, and now you're seeing some strength fading in the US dollar, and the US dollar is under pressure. Interestingly enough here, again, this is the 4-hour chart, these currencies down here, this is the Canadian dollar and the New Zealand dollar, they're both weak today. So these are the currencies that have already had their rate moves. We've already seen rate rises in these, and now we're looking for value to be in the rate rises that are coming or have just happened in the markets. That's basically why you're seeing some weakness in these currencies. New Zealand's had 2 rate hikes already in the last 2 meetings, and the CAD as well. The Japanese yen, we know what's been happening to the Japanese yen. You couldn't give the Japanese yen away 2 or 3 weeks ago, as it was the lowest yielding currency out there, pretty much flat. Now we're seeing some recovery in the Japanese yen, bit of a flight to safety, and again I would think some profit taking there as well. The Japanese central bank pretty keen on keeping their flat 10-year curve. Have a look at this chart. This basically shows us where the 10-year bond yields are trading at the moment. Slightly explains why the currencies are where they are. What you'll see here, if you look at a bigger picture, you'll see all these currencies, all these interest rates are moving up. They've all got a nice ascending path. Whereas the Japanese yen here, this grey line at the bottom, it's flat, trading around 0.235. You've got the New Zealand up there at 3.7, Australian up there at 3.2, the US just flirting with 3% at the moment, the CAD 2.93 and the British pound there at 2.1. This is why you're seeing the strength of these currencies. But what I like about this chart is it shows you what's happening pretty much in the last couple of months with the Swiss franc and the German government bond, basically the euro bond. You'll see here that they were all pretty negative. In fact, the German government bond was below the Japanese bond for pretty much last year. However, we overtook about March of this year, and now we're seeing some solid growth in these currency interest rate yields, which is why the currencies are getting stronger relative to the Japanese yen. We said that we are seeing a bit of yen strength creeping in at the moment. That's why the Japanese yen is at 20-year lows against the major US dollar. Okay, so let's have a quick look then at the economic calendar for the week ahead. Now, I think it's very important that you use an economic calendar, even if you don't trade the news. I think it's important for you to know what is driving these markets. And especially if you're trading, you don't want to be placing a trade just a moment before a big news release. And there's quite a few big releases this week as well. So even if you're not trading the fundamentals, I still think it's worthwhile you knowing what is going on. I like to do this normally on a Sunday ahead of the trading week, and I keep a pad here of exactly what is going on. But I always refer back to it anyway, just in case there's some news out that I've missed. Okay, so this is the famous Forex Factory website. We do have one on our site as well, which you can use, but this is taking a different feed. I'm just going to use this one today. We're looking at this time zone. Basically, is my time zone. You can set your own time zone for where you are in the world, and of course that will affect these times as well. So as we said, we had the cash rate out of Australia overnight, moved rates to 0.35%. The forecast is 0.25%. Anything in red is deemed to be high impact news. Anything in orange is deemed to be medium, and anything in yellow is deemed to be low impact news. See, we got US today. We got some jolt numbers. That's basically a job number. It's basically first time hires, basically people looking for their first jobs. Quite a good leading indicator ahead of non-farm payroll. Later on, we've got tonight for me anyway, we've got the employment data out of New Zealand. Very, very important this. So all this data is looking pretty good at the moment. We're seeing employment rate possibly dropping down to 3.1%. That's the unemployment rate. 3.1%, quite healthy numbers in there as well. So if anything comes in out of line, that's when markets would tend to react. As you know, the Kiwis have already moved their interest rates a couple of times already. If these numbers miss to the downside, then we will potentially see a bit of a pulling back of the Kiwi, as maybe the markets are going to digest the recent hikes to see how the economies fare before they start hiking again. Okay, so just expanding this out, we've got the all-important FOMC statement, which is Wednesday night UK time, Wednesday afternoon in the US. That will be, of course, Thursday morning if you're out in Asia Pacific. Markets are expecting a 50 basis point rise. At the moment, you'll see the current rate is 0.5. They're expecting up to 1%, which is a 50 basis point rise, followed on by the press conference as well. Very important, the press conference gives you a bit of a clue to what they're thinking going ahead. You can get some sort of feel whether they're more hawkish or bearish or dovish, I should say. So keep an eye on that. There are some analysts and some speculators out there that are actually calling for a 0.75% basis point rise in the US. If that happens, then of course you can expect the US dollar to push on. But if it does come in just in line with a 50 basis point rise, I don't know, you may see the dollar come under a little bit of pressure as you see some profit taking. Certainly now that you're seeing the other central banks moving their interest rates as well. So the yield advantage is diminishing somewhat as the other central banks move their interest rates. And of course, you've got Thursday, you've got the Bank of England. That's when their rate decision is announced. They're going for a rise of 0.25%, quarter percent rise. And the vote there is 8-1. So there's basically 9 voters on the panel. And the analysts are saying that 8 are going to go for the rate hike and 1 will basically not. So we keep an eye on that split as well. And then, of course, you've got the all-important job numbers out of Canada and the US on Friday. Non-farm payroll going for 390,000. Unemployment rate just edging lower at 3.5%. I'm not sure how important that is this month. On the heels of the FOMC, because obviously this is a lagging indicator as well, and the Fed will decide on Wednesday, and this is going to be on the Friday, so maybe it's not going to be too important this month. But of course we do and will be streaming it live as well. If you want to come and join us, take part of that, we do stream that live. Also giving away $5,000 in a random raffle inside our trading room. Check it out if you wish to. Also got employment data out of Canada as well. Keeping an eye on that. Employment rate again edging lower, down to 5.2%, with employment change of 39,500. So all important to see. Any good reads, and that's obviously going to put pressure on the RBC to move interest rates again at the next time of outings. And that's basically the economic calendar. As I say, even if you don't trade the fundamental news, I do think it's important that you are aware of what is driving the markets. We discuss it all the time, of course, inside our trading room. Okay, that's it. Okay, so I hope you found that useful. Don't forget, if you want to get this sent directly to your email inbox, just pop your details in there and it will be sent the moment it has been released. Or of course, you can get it here on the website. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you don't already do so, and that bell notification notifies you when the next video has been released. If you wish, you can come and join us here at ForexSignals.com. We are streaming live up to 6 times a day, looking for market strategies to come online, looking for trading possibilities and so forth, discussing all things market. Great vibrant community of like-minded traders. You can do that, take out a 7-day free trial. If that's not your thing, that's not a problem. I'll see you here next week on Monday. So have a good week. Of course, don't forget to follow us on all the socials.